Today's video is going to be on Olokun and his family, or I should say part of his family, because this is pretty much all of the family of Olokun that I have right now. Olokun, this is my part for Olokun, and this is where my Olokun lives. Olokun is the Orisha of the ocean, of the deep ocean. There's a difference between Olokun and Yemaya. Okay? Olokun is the Orisha of the deep ocean, the vast ocean, the parts of the ocean that have never been explored before. Those parts that if a human being tries to go down there, they'll get crashed down because of the weight of the ocean. All of those things, all those dark parts and those mysterious places, that's where Olokun lives, that's where Olokun dwells. That's what Olokun is the Orisha of. Olokun is one of the very mysterious and dark Orishas of the Yoruba pantheon. He's one of those Orishas that everyone has high respect for, that everyone takes good care of, and also one of the Orishas that has a lot of controversy related to him, her, or it. Let's start by saying that to a lot of people, including me, Olokun is androgynous. The reason why Olokun is said to be androgynous is because since Olokun is the deity of the deep ocean, no one knows if Olokun is really male or female or both or half fish or anything, because no one can see Olokun, no one can look into Olokun, no one can really visualize what Olokun looks like. That's the first controversy about Olokun, whether it's male, female, or androgynous, or non-human, or a ball of energy, or whatever. Another controversy about Olokun is the fact that a lot of people, and this goes mainly to the Babalaos, that they say that Olokun of Babalao is the real Olokun, and Olokun of Santero, which is what we receive, is just an aspect of Yemaya that has to do with Olokun. Which one's right and which one's wrong, I really don't know. I really don't care. I like my Olokun, and to me Olokun is Olokun no matter what. But those are like the two biggest things that happens with Olokun, and the tradition and people and other things that have to do with him. Those are the two biggest controversies with Olokun. When I talk about Olokun, since to me Olokun is androgynous, you'll hear me that I'll say he, and then I'll say she, and then I'll say it. Whatever comes out of my mouth, that's the way I'll refer to it the first, and just continue talking about it and whatever. Olokun is also the Orisha that, to many people, Yemaya spring out of Olokun. Olokun was the first Orisha to be on Earth, because before the Earth was created, that the planet was already formed, it was covered in water. And Olokun obviously was the only Orisha on Earth, because it was the Orisha that lived in the water. Later on, when Obatala came down to Earth, or to the planet, and created the Earth, then Olokun obviously resided to the side so that the mountains and everything could come up, and Olokun went into the ocean and just stayed in the ocean and not in the actual Earth. There's many there's many patakis or stories that talk about how Olokun tried drowning the earth and like overtaking the earth, which goes to show like the flood stories of the Bible and things like that, and how Obatala had to put Olokun into chains, which is how Olokun rarely ever gets into land, through tsunamis or through things like that. They rarely happen because Olokun is trapped at the bottom of the ocean by Obatala's chains. They say that in those stories, they say that when Olokun was trapped in the chains and Olokun was being dropped to the bottom of the ocean, that's where Yemaya came from, because Yemaya broke out of Olokun and ruled the top of the ocean, while Olokun went and ruled the bottom of the ocean. Olokun is one of the mysterious Orishas, or the dark Orishas. It's an Orisha that has to do with death, an Orisha that has to do with the dark side of the self, or the shadow self. It's an Orisha who has to do with mystery. Olokun's Odu, or Olokun's sign in the Dilogun and in the divination system, is Iroso, or number 4. It's when 4 cowrie shells are speaking up. That's when Olokun is speaking. And in that sign, it said you will never know what lies in the bottom of the ocean except for Olokun and Olofi. Except for God and Olokun are the only ones who know. Olokun is such a mysterious Orisha that you're not even supposed to be looking straight at Olokun. Like, not like this, but when you open his pot or her pot, you're not supposed to look directly inside of it because that's considered offensive to Olokun, because Olokun is also royalty, and you're never supposed to look at royalty in the eyes, let's say. So a lot of people, including myself, like whenever I open my Olokun and I uncovered my Olokun, I put my hand over the lid so I'm not looking directly for a few seconds, and then allow it for the energy to disperse or whatever, and then it's when I look into him, and maybe if I'm changing the water or if I just fed Olokun or something like that. Olokun's number is 9. Olokun takes all the same offerings pretty much that Yemaya takes, but he takes it in more quantities than Yemaya. The thing with Olokun is that since Olokun is a vast ocean, in my opinion and in a lot of other people's opinion, everything for Olokun should be done on a grand scale. Nothing should be small, nothing should be like 2 or 3 things. Everything should be 9 and above. Like if you're offering candy, it should be 9 or more candies, like big in abundance, because Olokun is supposed to be a king or queen or whatever, and they like everything to be in a gigantic amount.